Everybody, Brock VandenBerg, fund manager for TaliMar Income Fund. I'm out on the road today checking up on some of the projects we've funded. Behind me is actually a duplex. A client of ours is nearing completion on, actually built from the ground up. We've been doing some heavier construction and renovation deals recently, so wanted to kind of highlight some of the successes that we've had with these projects. When we look at these projects, we're looking to partner up and lend to seasoned real estate investors, people that have a background on doing ground up construction. Many of you have probably heard about the growth of accessory dwelling units, ADU units. Essentially what they are additional units that people are building onto their property to alleviate the housing crisis. They can build these units, they can rent them out, they can offset their living expenses and living costs. And they have just exploded here in San Diego. And that's essentially what we have here. Now, it is a new build, but our client was able to take advantage of the ADU rules that allowed him not to build more than just one unit, but actually 4 total units. So you've got 1 unit upstairs, 1 unit downstairs, and then a unit here. Each has its own garage, and then you go downstairs to the 2 units. Client is 12 months into the project, so they've already wrapped up the exterior of the properties. As you can see, one of the units, the drywall has already been hung. Secondary unit, they're just wrapping up the rough work, and then I'll start the drywall on this project. We typically get out to these projects once a month to meet the borrower, see how the progress is going. But let's go take a look at the project. Let's take a look at what we see inside. So what's really interesting about this project is when it was first presented to us, our client was only going to build 2 units, 2 separate buildings. But the city of San Diego came out and said, okay, we're going to allow you to build additional living units on these properties. So he took advantage of the ADU regulations, and instead of building the 2, was able to get approved for 4 units. So as I mentioned earlier, you've got stacked units, 1 unit on top and 1 unit below. Now, what the difficulty on this project is that it's a very sloped lot. So what you've got is when you enter the property, you actually enter on the top level and you go down to the other living units. So evaluating these kinds of projects, there are really 4 main things that you want to take a look at. Right off the bat, you want to look at the borrower experience. And do they have a history of building these type of projects at this level of scope? Second, does the project plans, or have you reviewed the construction budget, and is it sufficient to build out the project, and does it include contingency? For those not familiar with the term contingency, think additional funds set aside should there be cost overruns that you can draw from the contingency and continue moving forward with the project and pay for those cost overruns. Also, you want to make sure that you give the borrower enough time to complete the project. Borrower right now is on month 11. We've given them 18 months to complete the project. Had we given them only 12 months, it would have been very tight. They wouldn't have had enough time not only to complete the project, but then also exit the project by marketing and selling the property. And then also you want to make sure that the market would allow for this kind of project. Make sure that your finished value, you're estimating the appropriate finished value of a project. You can do that, number one, obviously through an appraisal, but you also have to do some market analysis to ensure, again, you understand what the value of this project is going to be when it's completed. All right, so hopefully that gave you a little insight into this project, how we evaluate funding these types of projects. If you're interested in learning more about this project or other projects that we're funding, or about the mortgage fund in general, feel free to reach out to me or my team. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for taking a moment to watch. Thank you.